be a big year here. Hollywood and TikTok are the first Hollywood updates of the year. Sitting with us at desk is Zoe Metzel.
Thanks, guys. The 97th Academy Awards is nearing closer, and after constant fan speculation, the nominations are finally out. We have a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. Starting off, Amelia Perez came out on top with a whopping 13 nominations, including Best Lead Actress for Carla Sofia Gascon, who made Oscar history as the first openly trans woman to earn a nomination. The Brutalist, starring Adrien Brody, took home 10 nominations, clocking in at 3 hours and 35 minutes long. Despite its extensive length, as viewers make their predictions for the winners, The Brutalist seems to be the one to beat for many of these awards. Coralie Farjat's The Substance, taking home 5 nominations, left audiences absolutely astounded with its shockingly gory portrayals and incredibly effective messaging. Demi Moore made the career comeback of the century with her nomination for Best Actress for the film. However, Margaret Qualley, who plays the de-aged version of Moore, was snubbed for her role in this smash hit of a movie. Denzel Washington, Nicole Kidman, and Daniel Craig were also snubbed for their acting roles, as well as Denis Villeneuve and John M. Chu for the directing of Dune Part 2 and Wicked. However, the long-awaited adaptation of the sensational Broadway show racked up 10 nominations, including Best Picture, Production Design, Editing, Sound, Original Score, and even a nod for both Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, who brought the well-loved roles of Elfie and Glinda to life. A Real Pain received critical acclaim left and right, as well as Nosferatu. However, for Best Picture, Honora, Conclave, and A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic, ended up being among the lists that made the cut. Nickel Boys and I'm Still Here also received nods for Best Picture. Meanwhile, No Other Land, the film about the Palestinian genocide, was nominated for Best Documentary, despite all of the U.S. distributors that deprived this crucial piece of its spotlight in the efforts of silencing the film's important historical message of empowerment through adversity. When it comes to filmmaking, ever since the Academy has been around, receiving an Oscar nomination is just about the best you could ever want for your movie, only apart from a win. But does that affect the average moviegoer? Brittany and Brianna, do you think hearing a film is Oscar nominated makes you want to see it more?
I mean, I think for me, it kind of does. I don't get to go out and watch a lot of movies all the time, but when I hear that something is Oscar nominated, it makes me want to go out and watch the movie. It definitely adds some value to that experience. It makes it seem like it's going to be a much better movie than maybe one that wasn't.
See, Brianna, I'm kind of the opposite. You know, yes, being Oscar nominated is very important in the movie industry, and it's obviously a big deal. But for me, when I go to the movie theater, I just want to see a movie with people I like acting in it and like a fun storyline. Like one of my favorite movies I saw over break was Moana 2.
Moana 2 was a good movie. Should have been nominated for an Oscar.
But it wasn't, but I still wanted to go see it.
I agree, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. I think that the really, big question here is what movie are we talking about? I think it really depends on the film. So, personally for me, I think when it comes to movies like Honora, A Real Pain, these are films I've heard such great things about, and I'm like, wow, when I first heard of them, I'm like, I really want to see that. But finding out after the fact that, oh, wow, this got a nomination, oh, yeah, I actually did want to see that. The difference is maybe now I actually will go and watch it. But for certain things like Challengers, which had a crazy, huge fan following, even before it came out, it has some things that, just people, no matter what, were going to go see it. And they were going to love it either way. And I think that that's important to take into account, too, because some movies just have a big fan base, stuff like that. And it does definitely make a difference. But for something like A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie, which actually I was not expecting, but was actually incredible.
I agree, it was really good.
Right?
It was really good. It was one of my favorite movies to see over break, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was just taken aback by it. I mean, I think, Bob Dylan has such a big presence in the music industry that it's some big shoes to fill. But I think that Timothée Chalamet and Monica Barbaro and Elle Fanning all just did such an incredible job. And honestly, you guys know it would be completely impossible for me to come up here talking about movie of the year without talking, of course, about Wicked.
I agree.
Because, man, I just absolutely love it.
It was such a good movie, and I was a fan of the Broadway musical first, and seeing it come to life in theaters was such a magical experience. I mean, all of the songs, like, I was like ready to get up and sing along with them. It was an awesome.
Me too.
And it was so
Have you
well
been to the
done.
sing-alongs? You have to go if not. It's incredible.
That's what I'll do this week.
Yes.
My favorite thing was during when Wicked came out on TikTok was like people were like, "Do not sing during the movie. This is for me to watch first. Then we can sing along after."
It's true. You need a first like watch. You really need to like absorb it. But honestly, I think so many things about that movie, like the production, just like the set design, definitely deserves the Oscar for that because it's so much work I put into it and everything.
Definitely does, especially when you consider that both actresses were singing live during the whole movie. I mean, a lot of times you see that actors and actresses, they're using like pre-recorded soundtrack, which makes sense. It's a lot of singing. The vocal cords kind of go out pretty fast. But that the fact that they were able to sing live just adds so much to the acting and really just proves why they both deserve Oscars for the performance.
Well, going off that, when singing live too, during the choreography too, like that takes a lot of work and very intense for that movie, and it was just a great job.
Yes. No, I totally agree. I think that everybody did such a good job on it, and the one thing that's bothering me the most is that John Chu, the director of the film, didn't even get a nomination. I'm like, this is up for Best Picture, and the director isn't? Like, what do you think a director does? Like, he is up there putting in so much work. I mean, it's been 21 years since this movie is, the show's been around, but I think they absolutely killed it. Well, guys, it truly has been a pleasure joining you today. That's all the time we have for Hollywood News Update. I may be signing off, but don't go yet, as you still have a little more of these two to go after this short commercial break.